Afternoon. If you're returning to me from a couple of hours ago, welcome back. I took a little bit longer to get back with you because I had some things to do, and I did a second proofing, or pardon me, a second rise on the pizza dough that I prepared earlier. So there it is. That's two rises, an hour each, and they look pretty good. They're a little dry on top just because of using the tea towel, but it will be yummy. So what I'm going to do is I am going to set aside two of these dough balls to freeze. I'm going to put one in the fridge to make a little yummy pie pocket. Probably tomorrow. These can keep sealed in the fridge for up to 3 days before they start to go south. So I'll be using that. So I'll go ahead and get one of these done. So let's go ahead and start with prepping the space, shall we? All right. It was sure fun to get back to this. And they did rise beautifully. It's nice to see this kind of result, especially, oh, that smells good. Especially since it's been quite a few years since I have made the pizza dough. I am excited about these pie pockets. I have so many different filling ideas. And today I am actually going to go with a combination of ground beef, green peppers, onion, and some seasoning and some mozzarella cheese. Seal that up, and then I'm going to baste the tops of the pie pockets with some garlic butter, basically seasoned garlic butter. Well, let's see. Pop those in the freezer. That freezer is almost becoming a hazard at this point. It is so stock full. It's amazing how quickly things go, or how quickly it empties out when I start mixing and matching ingredients. So I'm going to use that another time. I'm thinking that might be fun to make a breakfast pie pocket with some scrambled eggs and some bacon, maybe some onions. All right, so what I have going here over medium high heat is some olive oil, and I am going to saute up some pre-frozen or pre-chopped and frozen green peppers and onions, and I'm just ballparking it. I figure if there's any leftovers to the filling, I could just nibble on that happily. And I've given myself plenty of time to get these, I call them calzones accidentally. They're like calzones, you know. I am going this route just to take a little bit of a break from the Italian flavors. That's some chopped onion. I've got a cup. Go ahead and chop up some more since I have plenty of fresh onions. Yeah, but I'm going to really have fun with this. Nice to get back into the swing of things. And it is frozen, so it'll produce a lot of water, so no problem. I'll just take out the veg, strain off the water, and then cook up the ground beef. All right, in the meantime, let me go ahead and get these dough balls rolled out. So let's see, I think I'm going to get 4 out of this. Hello, David. I am making some savory pie pockets, so also known as hot pockets. I have such a busy work week, and my child has a lot of activities in the evening, and I am not too keen on fast food. So this is kind of what I'm going to be doing as a go-to heat and eat. I'll basically pick her up. She'll have a nice hot meal as we locomote. And yeah, it's fun. It's a fun way to mix up the variety a little bit. Hopefully she likes this combination of flavors. My original intention was to make an Italian style pie pocket, some ricotta filling that I made last night, and I just decided to reroute and switch up the flavors a little bit. I'm just frying up some peppers and onion. We're pre-chopped and frozen. Get a little seasoning. Okay. With these calzones, you do want to go pretty thin, so you can really heat the filling up in there. The dough is quite firm. It has been a long time since I've made this dough, so likely it's just not as moist as normal. Oh, and I do remember, I do stretch. It's pizza dough. I can stretch it out. I always wish that I had the skills to swing it on my hands and between my hands like they do in the pizza parlors. But oh boy, I don't know if I trust these hands with that. Cat would lose his mind if I started throwing around food. Obviously, I'm untrained in doing this. Doesn't hold me back from giving it a whirl. Okay, this is the top that it just got a little bit dry. To kind of be expected. I usually do rise the pizza dough, coated in olive oil, and sealed with cling film, but I'm not doing that this time around. Or I didn't do that this time around. I did also figure out what's so different about this flour, and I didn't notice this when I purchased it, but this is whole wheat flour, and it certainly acts different than the unbleached white flour that I typically use for baking. But no matter, that could explain why it's a little firm. I know that people, this recipe, I typically have used bread flour, which has a lighter texture, certainly. But mix it up. I figure the different ways that I prepare this just kind of helps in my fluency with this kind of a recipe. One day soon I'm also going to make some corn tortillas, and I'll try going the route of like making tamales and all different kinds of things. Let's see, there's a lot of water. Let's drain this off. You do want a dry filling. I suppose I could run this through a pasta maker too, to get it super thin. There we go. Hi, Mike. This is pizza dough. I'm going to turn into a pocket pie. Oh, here we go. Good music happening. This one brings back memories. Living on the mountain. Oh, that one's quite a bit smaller. Anytime you handle fresh dough, you do want to let it rest kind of in between. Give that a moment to just rest. The memory this brings back specifically was I lived at a ski mountain. I was a manager of one of their mid-mountain lodges. And that was quite an experience, especially as I was in my early 30s at the time. It was incredible to ski to work every day, and I loved waking up after a fresh snowfall and slapping those skis on my shoulder and heading up to the base area. But ski mountains are also notorious for their partying. It wasn't really my scene, but I definitely went down and enjoyed it when karaoke was happening. And I just remember the first big party on the mountain was in a B lot. It was just one of the parking lots, the big one. And all the workers, he'd even set up a stage, big sound system. And I remember one of our mechanics, who was the quietest person you'd ever meet. He was standing on stage belting this one out. And I thought it was funny because, the boulevard lights, end of the boulevard, because that's what it was. It was the end of the road before you hit the wilderness. Oh, memories. I'm going to line a baking sheet with parchment so I can set these prepared calzones on top. I am working with limited space in this kitchen, and so I just kind of spread out the tasks a little bit. Looking good there. I'm going to also preheat. Okay, so 400 degrees is what I cook this at for about 20 to 30 minutes. I'm going to check it as I go because it is a high temp and the filling is already pre-cooked, so it's just a matter of cooking the crust on the outside. So as I'm getting ready there, we'll melt 2 tablespoons of butter. Actually, rest of this. I'll get the garlic butter ready so I can baste the tops and pop them in the oven that right quick. Oh, Tom Petty. Love him. I'm hearing a lot of Tom Petty recently. It's definitely appreciated. Go ahead and just transfer this to a bowl, and then I will cook up beef and mix it all together before I construct here. All right. Splash of olive oil. I'm going to bump up the heat a little bit for this ground beef here to medium high. My stovetop runs really hot, so. All right. I still do have quite a bit of beef. I'd say a little shy of a pound. Ground beef. We had a great special on for ground beef. I think I got this for a little over $1 a pound. Just shocked. So I took full advantage of it. I have 1 more pound yet to use. I'll think of something fun to make. I was thinking tacos actually sounded really good. Okay. Season this business up. A little salt and pepper. Those savory flavor is a jump start there. I'm going to pop this butter in the oven. I don't have a microwave by choice, actually. So that's how I melt butter. It works. Takes just about the same time as a microwave. And I just think things that are heated up or cooked in the oven or on the stovetop, it has a much better flavor. Feels like since I was a kid, I remember our first microwave, and I do remember how it just kind of changed the way the food tasted. It made it kind of rubbery. So just kind of changed the way I roll. It's challenging sometimes to decipher the directions for things that are microwave only. I don't do a lot of pre-made dinners or anything like that. But things like microwave burritos, quick heat, that kind of stuff. But I can really, just with a little planning, it works out just fine. Gonna make this fine. Okay, for this garlic oil butter spread, I have some salt, garlic powder, parsley, and olive oil that I'm going to add to that melted butter. And also, it calls for grated Parmesan cheese. I'm sure that would look nice and pretty, but I probably am going to just sprinkle it with a little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano free cheese blend. Make it a little easier, and I will cook these covered too. So. Let me season this up a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of onion powder. Whoop. Just to give the meat a little bit more of a pop flavor. Okay. There we go. Butter is ready to roll. So I want a tablespoon of oil. Quarter teaspoon of parsley. Just eyeballing it. 1/8 teaspoon garlic powder. 1/8 teaspoon of sea salt. There we go. About there with the beef. You know what I haven't had in a long time is a shepherd's pie. That actually sounds pretty yummy. So maybe I'll go that route instead of tacos. Mince this up pretty good. Take her off the heat. Okay, get the shredded mozzarella. That loosened up quite a bit. That's hot. Yeah, that was the trick. Roll it out just a little bit and then let it rest and then give it another roll. Oh, certainly is not going to be perfectly uniform pocket pie, but it will be good. Okay, so you see it's about yay thin. And I will do my best to keep that uniform. Okay, let's see here. I'm ahead of myself. It's the bummer with having such a small space to prepare. I kind of have to get creative using the stovetop as a surface. So what I think I'm going to do is, oh, whoops. Tear there. I'm going to take some time to roll these out even thinner first. And then I'll construct over here. Yeah. Nice and thin. Here we go. With practice, I'll get better at circular dough balls. I certainly have a lot more experience with pie crust dough. I am fully aware too that this is not the best rolling pin. I would love to re-up my rolling pin situation. Those nice heavy marble ones that stay cool, that would be a really neat thing to get. Because that marble will make like laminating butter into dough pretty easy when it comes to making croissants, which is another personal goal of mine. Make a proper modern croissant. I love watching Max Miller's Tasting History YouTube channel. Oh my gosh, he's very entertaining, and the information he offers is so interesting. I love how he recreates these ancient dishes and has such a thorough explanation of the history of a variety of dishes. But he had a great video about the croissant and where it came from, they believe, and how it has just morphed throughout history. Oh, pardon me. Okay. Get set here. cutting board is made of titanium. It looks like it made a little mark there. Easy enough to take out. So I'm going to go ahead and construct these babies on the pan so I don't need to move them. So I am just going to go ahead and mix together the peppers and onions with ground beef. There we go, that's the one to have. I have an uneven surface, and it kind of works to my benefit sometimes because the grease will drain to one side. All right, so, yum. Let's go ahead and start here. And I'm just going to go with a crescent shape. Keep it as generously as I can towards the center. Some generous heap of mozzarella. Jeez. Flinging at me. Okay. Oh, I can feel that that's softened up. That plate is hot because the oven is on. See how this just lends itself to so many possibilities? You could make taco seasoned meat and beans and some cheese, Mexican style, or pockets, pie pockets. One thing I definitely have always loved doing is putting marinara sauce, and I keep ripping that one. Marinara sauce with pepperoni, cheese, and some Italian sausage. That's super yummy. So if you were going to use an entire batch of pizza dough to make these, you guys say have at it. You would just get 12. It would change the cooking time a little bit. It would be pretty tasty. All right. So I am going to seal these with my fingers and then use the tines of a fork to give it a further seal. Pardon me if you're commenting and I'm not seeing it. I'm hungry actually, so I'm kind of wanting to get these in the oven. I want to get all the edges all the way around. This is where I had my fail with the ravioli. The pre-made dough did not take to the water seal. Okay, this is going to do just fine now. Get a little squished in there. No worries. Fork will help. Let me just get some crunchy nibblets. Yeah, my kid was going to be pleased with this, I think. A lot for a 6-year-old. I guess lucky mom I get to finish what she can't fit in her tummy. Ah, looks pretty good. I'm getting generous with the water here, especially since it is kind of a dry dough. I think I got pretty lucky on that first one. There was no tearing. Okay. Nice and heat to the center. I suppose if you do have a little extra space, you could just tuck the crust underneath too to give it a pretty edge. Oven is preheated. Wow, that ad, that's the second time I've heard it. That is full of mixed imagery. Yeah, little 80s pop music in the background, talking about iron-fisted oligarchs and they're selling mattresses. I can't say I really relate to modern advertising. It tends to confuse me more than sell me on products. Yeah. Yeah. Hello, welcome to the kitchen. I am making pie pockets, savory pie pockets with homemade pizza dough. The flour, it's whole wheat flour, and so it does look a little different. Let's see how that could be confused for a quesadilla. And this little one that I was wondering if I could fit all that filling in there. So So far, so good. All right, that one's a little ragged on the edges, but it's sealed. Okay, so there we are. 4 pie pockets. I'm going to cut some vents on the top. So, as to encourage them not to explode outwards. Okay. Last but not least, prepared garlic butter. Ooh. I'm so generous with this goodness. You just add lovely flavor. I'm going really generous on that. The seasoning. Like the spread here. Guns and Roses. Can't say you let live. I've got a slice from my youth here. I remember listening to Use Your Illusion. I borrowed it from a friend, and my mom actually came by my room and heard that playing and did not care for it at all. She actually walked in the room, pulled it out of the CD player, and snapped it in half. Oh, the tricky part was replacing it. I was 15 and didn't have a job, so it took some doing to be able to replace that. Oh, memories. All right, last but not least. Whoop. Okay, sprinkle. I'm putting this on now because the butter will make it stick nicely. All right, there we are. What I'm going to do is actually tint some foil over the top. Keep the top from burning. Alright, and the oven is preheated to 400 degrees. I'll pop these in. It called for about 20 minutes, but I think I'm going to actually put them in for 15 and then check on them because the filling is totally cooked. It's just the pizza crust that needs to be cooked. And I'll probably take this foil off the top for the last few minutes just to toast it up a little. So in it goes. Get the alarm set here for 15. And with that, we are all set. Thank you for joining me again. And I'll probably do a little short to show you how they all turned out. Hopefully the filling stays in the pie and it's a nice little compact nibble when we're out on our excursions here. In about an hour we're taking off. But thank you again for joining me, and wherever you are in the world, my best to your health, well-being, and happiness. We'll see you again next time.